Hello everyone, and welcome again to Cooking in the Kitchen with Wayne. First time we did the cheesecake, and now we're going to do some breaded chicken. I guess we're doing a kind of reverse order. Dessert first is the way I like to do things. But for this is my informative speech, what I'm going to be doing is teaching proper breading techniques and a couple of different cooking methods that you could do once the chicken is breaded. First of all, what I've done is I've taken a cup of buttermilk and I have the chicken marinating in that buttermilk. Then I'm going to take 1 cup of flour, add it into there. I've got 2 eggs here in the bowl that I'm just going to mix up so that they're nice and blended, easily can be have the chicken put in there for coating. And then I have 1 cup of breadcrumbs I'm going to put in there. Now at this point you could, like what I always prefer to do, put a little bit of pepper in the flour, a little bit of salt, so that you have, some seasoned flour. And you can also then put a little bit of hot sauce if you wanted in the buttermilk, if you wanted to add a little bit of spice to the eggs, or you can add some Parmesan cheese to the breading. Any other spices that you wanted. I have a little bit of parsley and Parmesan. It's an Italian breadcrumb actually, so there's some Italian seasonings in there. First thing that you're going to do once you have it to that point, pull out your chicken out of the buttermilk that's been marinating for 2 hours. I pulled it out of the fridge right before starting. So pull the chicken out of the buttermilk marinade. There's nothing else in this one, since this is more, like I say, I'm using the Italian seasoning, so this is more of a savory, not really a hot wing, anything like that type of a dish. Gently just pat off some of the excess buttermilk. Buttermilk will have marinated into that chicken, the flavoring and everything from it, so we don't need any of the excess liquid on the chicken. That could just make your breading go a little bit soft inside, not give you that nice crunch. Once we've done that, the next step is to put it into our flour. And when you're breading, you always want to do what's called 1 hand wet, 1 hand dry. I prefer just to do 1 hand really goopy. What they say you can do is if you use 1 hand when the chicken is wet, 1 hand when it's dry, you kind of keep 1 hand clean at all times. Put it in the flour, shake off any excess flour, make sure that it got well coated, dip it into your eggs. That's going to help your flour adhere to the chicken, help your eggs adhere to the chicken because of the flour, and then right into your breading. Now this is the part that's going to give you the crunch, where you're going to pick up most of your flavoring for the outside of your chicken, so you want to make sure that this gets coated really well. Press it onto the chicken, get a nice coat, so that you get that crunch that we're looking for. Shake off any excess and then just set it aside to allow it to dry and adhere and make that breading nice and thick and good. Same thing with this second piece. Into the flour. This is a little bit of a messy job, but the results, you can do this with chicken fingers or those chicken tenders that you can buy out of the freezer in the big bags. And just do a whole bunch of these at a time, and then you've got homemade chicken fingers for the kids, for family, for a party, anything like that. And then stick out several different dipping sauces, and you have a great little hors d'oeuvre or appetizer, or even a main course if you want to add some, vegetables and something like that with it. So I'll wash this breading off my hand. Now there's 2 ways that you can cook the chicken from here. You can do the traditional method, which is to deep fry it in oil. That's how you get your chicken fingers at the stores, at the fast food places, as they're deep fried. I prefer to do just a tablespoon of olive oil in a frying pan, put the chicken in, let it cook on both sides for about 2 minutes a side, 1.5 to 2 minutes. Let it cook on both sides so you get a nice coloring and you get that crunch from the breading. And then just stick it into the oven and finish it in the oven, which is what I've done, and that's the point where we're at right now. pull out that chicken, put that on the plate, and there you go. Chicken with a nice breading on the outside, a nice crunch. Pull out a fork, put that on some pasta with a little bit of sauce, and you're good to go. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed.